I'm Brenda.
And I'm Christy. We're two friends from high school who are connecting and reconnecting over music and memories.
Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast.
We're glad you're here.
Okay. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast. It's Brenda from Houston and Christy in Brenham. And we are just here. And I have come up with something I want to talk about today. And I'm going to tell you what I call it. You might call it something different.
They do.
Yeah, they do. Okay. Y'all do, Christy said. So you guys, today I want to talk about, I call them wormholes. And when I describe what I'm talking about, maybe what you're going to say is, yeah, that's wrong. This is what I call it.
Wrong. It's just different. So Brenda said the word in my head lately has been wormholes, and I didn't do Star Trek. I'm a Star Wars girl, and I was like, is that Star Trek? What is this?
I don't know.
So then Brenda has a list of questions about wormholes. What are your questions, friend?
So my questions are about wormholes. That's what I call them. Why do we go down them? Do worms even go in holes? Okay. Why do we go down them? Okay. Are they escapes? Is it procrastination? What are yours? And how do I get out of them?
And we're going to push pause right there. Now, friends, I want you to take a second. If you're a therapist and Brenda comes and sits on your couch to talk about wormholes, you're going to say, sweetie, do you mean? What's that?
Rabbit hole.
I was like,
rabbit hole is the correct term. Is this what you're saying?
And anyone who's ever seen Up might call that squirreling. Squirrel. Remember Doug? Squirrel.
Squirrel, yes. Or a black hole, a cave.
So, okay, so science, right?
Science. Please, I need you. This is why I wrote it all down.
So I don't have numbers for this, but I would like to.
Okay.
Brenda and I were just talking. It's Sunday today. Tomorrow I'm doing a staff development for a local nonprofit. And one of the things it's about professional growth and personal growth. And one of the things we'll talk about is distraction and focus. So Cal Newport, y'all know, is the king of all these things. His book, Deep Work, I haven't actually read. I've listened to him on podcasts and read articles and stuff. But one of the things that, and he is, like, you've heard terms like digital decluttering, digital minimalism, that's Cal Newport. He's not the only one who talks about it, but he's probably the most well known. So the theory is that your rabbit hole or wormhole really is straight up distraction. And I don't know what he says about why you do it. I don't know why you do it. I think we all do it for different reasons. But the way you prevent it is by time blocking, naming your time, doing some focused stuff. So like for me, in my day, I turn off notifications and I drive people crazy because I only check my email when it's email time.
Yeah, you drive me crazy.
I do. I'll respond to Brenda's text and then I'll hear her keep texting me, but it's not text time, so I don't check it. But that's like the way I can. So when I first started, when Noble was a baby and I was blogging a lot, I had to, I would get up, we'd do all of our morning stuff and do my grading for my online courses and stuff, take Casey to school, come home, and then I would have and Noble would take an hour and a half nap, and that was my time to blog and just to let myself go, read blogs, be on Facebook, do all the things, and then I had to shut it off because you get sucked in, right?
Completely and totally, utterly sucked in. I cannot climb out.
And you know what? I think that there's a lot of things that play here. But for example, Chadwick Boseman just passed away. Did I say that right? Yes.
Yes, Chadwick Boseman.
So big deal. It's a huge deal. I didn't even know he was sick. I'm not online like that. So understandably, you have spent quite a bit of time online reading articles about him, learning more about him, learning about his final days, grieving him. And I think like that rabbit holes like that, I think that's understandable.
Mm-hmm. And this is true. And here's the thing is, I don't think anyone knew that he was sick. And that was, I think that was the gut punch for me and the shock. And so for me, what got me down the rabbit hole,
Wormhole.
wormhole.
You do you.
Okay, what got me down the wormhole was I was in complete shock. And because my own dad died of cancer, and I didn't know that Chadwick had the cancer, and it amazed me because in those 4 years, then I was like, what the things that he did in the 4 years,
Mm.
because in the articles I'm reading, it's like he had chemotherapy, he had surgeries, but what we saw was he made Black Panther, he made all these movies, he did a commencement speech. That's another wormhole that I get in, is commencement speech on YouTube. I am obsessed with them because it's like preaching to me. It's like church. I'm like, these people are like, okay, see, here I go. But so
Five
with
things, you guys. There are 5 things.
yes, so with Chadwick, yes, I did. I was like, I need to see him and go back and look, because I didn't see the signs. I didn't know, how did he do this? Why was he so private about it? Of course, that's just totally his choice, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I know, because I saw my parents go through that, what the pain was, what the all of the things that happen to a cancer patient do. But then I was like, how was he so strong? How did he hide it? And why did he feel that need to, was he ignoring it? Like a million things. And I mean, I took off and I couldn't stop. And then I would get sad. And then I was like, wow, he's so strong. That is amazing. But yes, before I knew it, like 24 hours had gone by. And did I really do anything else but just fixate on him? So yeah. And what's scary for me, and the thing that you just said about science, and what was the guy's name you just said?
Newport.
Okay, Cal Newport, and your idea or your way of setting blocks of time and whatnot. What also I will reveal about myself, and everyone's like, yes, that know me, I am a horrible time management person. Like, I am late all the time, forever and ever. It doesn't matter what I try, what I do, even if it's 3 minutes or 2 minutes, I am late. You know what I'm saying? So I have horrible time management. And so to even begin to block off, to have time management, and I have to have self-discipline. We all know about my mountain of laundry that I never fold, that I'm staring at right now in front of me. So I just feel like I'm answering my own question right now. It is a distraction. It is procrastination of doing the things that I need to do, because I'm a mess, Christy. I have none of the
There's
things I need to get out of the wormhole.
Let's unpack a few of those things, because that's a whole different thing. There's a lot of things at play there.
Mm-hmm.
Why you're late may have nothing at all to do with time management.
Okay.
It may just be a habit. It may be, like my downfall is if I'm running early and let's say I have 5 minutes before I need to leave to be earlier on time, I'll think,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I can do this that takes 3 minutes. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, it's like if you get my family jokes, I'm like walking, talking if you give a mouse a cookie. Like if I, take something from the laundry room to the closet, when I get to the closet, I'm probably also going to straighten something on the way there. Or I'm going to see something and I'm like, oh, I'll just take it to the mudroom. Or, oh, this needs to go out to the garage. And so I don't know, I guess that's time management, but also I think we kind of get into habits. Like when we say things like I'm bad at time management, I'm always like, well, we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like your laundry, I don't think that's poor time management. It's a task you don't like doing.
I
So
don't.
like, I mean, like the whole thing with it. Have we talked about Eat the Frog?
Mm-mm.
So that's a time management theory, and there's a book. I forget the guy's name. I think it's Brian something. I don't know. If you want to know drop a comment and I'll find it for you. But it's called Eat the Frog or Eat That Frog. And the whole idea is you start your day doing the thing you don't want to do or doing the hard thing. And so in that, like, so I like, all of this stuff is on my brain because this is part of what we're talking about tomorrow. The other thing is like, there's a system called 4DX, and his thing is you have wildly important goals. So you make sure you accomplish your goals that day, that week, that month, whatever. And the way, like when you put all that together with the time blocking, eating the frog, with your wildly important goals, you make sure in your day you have time to work on that goal. If it's something you don't like laundry, just get it done. Like that's what the guys would tell you. That's what the science guys would tell you. But you don't like it. So then
I don't. Denzel Washington, me in quotes, and I don't do science, but I know Denzel Washington. he said one time that like he was talking in reference to getting his kids to do like their chores, or they want to do fun stuff, but he wants them to do homework first. So he said he tells them, you do what you have to do, and then you can do what you want to do. I mean, I don't necessarily want to do the laundry, but as soon as that's done, then I have that time, right? So that makes sense.
That with our money too, like the whole, like, don't we spend our money? Aren't we supposed to do our have tos first and then have some money? Like then we do the get tos. Not how many times have we as young people, and even maybe still now, you get paid and maybe you go shopping and spend it all on jeans instead of the groceries you were supposed to buy that 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, like some of us still do it as grown-ups. And I was just sitting here thinking and listening to it. And I'm like, the stuff that I call science probably isn't even science. It's probably like human nature or psychology or.
But I definitely think it's science. I mean, there's meaning. I mean, for me, like science, like there's meaning, there's something behind it. And that's why I've liked talking to you, is because I like to find out, like, okay, well, why am I doing this? Like, and so back to the time management. I mean, yeah, to being late. Like, as far as I can remember, I've always just been behind.
Do you miss deadlines at work?
No, I don't miss deadlines, but I will wait. Okay, that makes sense. I guess, because like procrastination, like even I was a horrible, like when I say I was a horrible student, like of course I've always been an organized person. Like I always had the supplies, I always had the tools, but I didn't ever make the like good grades. Like there was something lacking there. Like I don't know, but I will procrastinate. I would turn in homework. I would turn in work. I do the things at work, but I will wait to the absolute last second before I even start it. I just will. I don't know why. And so earlier when I typed the notes about my wormhole was because so last night we decided to swim at night. And I tried a new recipe. I made shrimp tacos. They're really good. I was really excited because I'm not a big cook. And I've just been trying to do some different things. So we ate, then we swam, and then there was this is probably why I hate cooking, is because there's I used every dish in the kitchen. Every service, like every top counter space that I had was covered with stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And so after the swim, and then Preston came, my nephew, to spend the night about 9:00. So I didn't want to do the dishes. I decided I was going to, swim and visit with the boys, whatever. So I was like, do you guys mind if I just leave the dishes overnight? I'm going to go to bed. This was 11. So I did this. And then this morning I made breakfast, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was like, okay, after breakfast, I'm going to do the dishes, right? No. Preston and Matt, Alex went to lifeguard. Preston and Matt are doing whatever upstairs. Well, here comes the wormhole.
What'd you do?
I got on YouTube and was just looking at things, and I can't even tell you what things. And then I started listening to a podcast, which was really good. And then that spiraled into something else. And then I looked up, and I think you and I texted in between a little bit, and I was like, oh gosh, we're going to record at 4. I have to get these dishes in before then. So then I put a podcast on the speaker, and I did get busy and do it, which I always feel better after I do. But I was like, dang, like I wasted an hour and a half doing nothing basically, just so I wouldn't have to get in there and do it. And I guess I felt overwhelmed because there's so much dishes, ugh. And it was gross stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm
put them away. That's what I.
what?
Then you got to put them away. That's my whole
That,
thing. I wash dishes all the live long day. I just don't like putting them away.
no, putting them away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's why I was like, okay, I'm in this wormhole. Why do I do this? How do I get out of them? Do other people do this? What do they look at? What do they do? What are their reasons?
Well, I think there's so many things like there's a whole. We for a while we had unplugged Sundays, and we
Mm-hmm.
implemented that because when I was a consultant, especially the first several years, I made myself available to teachers 24/7, and
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, they took me up on it, and it was fine. That was what I wanted. That's how I envisioned myself as kind of like a big sister to these teachers. And so what that looked like though was I was going through the motions with my family. We'd pick Casey up from school, I'd pack a healthy snack, we'd go to the park. And while the kids were playing, I was on my phone, I was texting, I was emailing, I was writing, I was, doing all the things. We'd cook dinner together and sit down and eat. And then I would be back on a screen, doing all the things again. And so when Hands Free Mama really kind of, a friend of mine, Courtney, shared one of her articles, one of her original old blog posts on Facebook. And I was like, like when you read something and like your soul is like, I need that. And so we started having unplugged times. And like, it was when I took the kids to the park, I didn't pull out my phone. And we worked on, like, I say we, because it really was my whole family. Like I had to relearn how to be present with the family. So there's present. We had unplugged Sundays where we didn't watch TV. We didn't play video games. We didn't, I didn't blog or do social media. And we don't really do that anymore just because we don't. Being self-employed, it is hard. I am working today, even though it's Sunday. I would like to tell you that I'm having a Sabbath day today, but I'm not. Like I groomed the dogs. I bathed them. I swept, I did lots of stuff around the house. I'm also reading a fiction book, which is fun.
That
Um,
is
yeah, but it's like, there's so much, like what you're talking about is so much what we think about. I think especially as women, and I think one of the things that can be dangerous is like, you might look at me and the way that I do things and think, oh, I should be more like that. But I'm looking at you and the way that you do things and thinking, oh, I should be more like that. But really, we should be looking at ourselves and saying, am I doing what I'm called to do? Am I walking the way that he wants me to walk, using the talents that he's given me? We have overlapping talents for sure, you and I do, but we also have very different gifts. And so what looks right for me is not going to look right for you,
right. Yeah. I will, something you said a while ago, about, if you had 5 minutes, if you're early and some of the things you do, I do recognize, like mostly I guess I see it before work. Like if I am on the right track, if I am on time, and I look and I'm like, okay, I should leave right now. Oh, that towel's not straight, or oh, one of the boys left something on the floor. I do that. And even when I've decided, okay, I'm just gonna walk out the door, I'm let it go. I have gotten outside the door, locked it, gotten in my car, and I get that I just can't. I won't be able to go at work and work peacefully thinking about the thing on the floor. So I'm just going to go pick it up really quick. And then I do. And then I'm late, and I don't know. And so I don't do that all of the time. I'm better now about it. Like I'm just like, okay, you just have to let that beep go, girl. Like you just do, And so, but
You're killing me because if you were a coaching client right now, if this was a coaching call, you know what I would tell you to do?
no, yes,
What would
kind of.
I tell you to do?
Well, I don't know the words you would say, but what popped in my head was there's this episode, of course it's TV, hello, of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon, if you guys watch, there's got to be, if you are out there and you watch as much TV as I do, please call me. So he is completely OCD. So they make him do all these things in one day, like, oh, you can't wipe that. You just have to let it go. You can't do, like all the things he wanted.
Desensitizing?
Desensitized, that word. And then at the very end of the episode, they're like, okay, yay, see, that wasn't so bad. And then he goes back and does it all. And then he falls on the floor.
Okay.
Desensitized? Is that the word you were going to use?
No, I would say if it's important to you to be on time, like I don't know if it's more important to be on time or to have all the things done, right? Only you can know that. But if it's important to you to be on time, then I would say for 21 school days, and I would probably make myself a little chart. I would say for 21 school days, my biggest goal every day is to be at work on time. Yes. Even if I leave a wet towel on the bathroom floor. And if I get to work on time, I'm gonna give myself like a dot or a check or something at the end of that 21 days. I'm gonna I would do something like, for me, I would buy a full price fiction book, not even like the free ones on my Amazon Prime Reading. Like I would buy a full price book, or like buy a movie, or for you buy a season of something that you want to watch, like, or reward yourself with a new hat or something, like tie it to a reward. Or for this week, there's 5 school days this week. If you can be on time all 5 days, then reward yourself with something this weekend.
It is. I don't really talk about this a whole lot ever, because I know it's like the elephant in the room. Like people are like, oh, she's always late. Like, and then it gets to be like that. Oh, like I don't care. Or, like I feel guilty. I don't like looking at myself in the mirror right now because, like all of these people are always on time except me. So,
okay, well, that's not true, because the phones are always late. Like we try not to be, but we're always late. Like, so we were, I sat down to report, I think at 3:54, I probably sent you the Zoom link. At 3:50, James was in one neighborhood. It's a long story what he was doing. He's picking up vinyl. A friend's father passed away, and his mother is letting some select friends look at his vinyl collection. So James was very excited to do that. So he left here at 3:20 to go do that in one neighborhood, and then was going to come back here and then go drive a couple more minutes to do a shoot at 4. 40 minutes to get over there, visit, look at vinyl, get back here and be at your shoot. Well, needless to say, he came in, he got here at 3:59. I was like, but that's how we roll. That it is we're always late too. Casey's always early.
right.
If she has to be at work at 7:30, she's there at 7:15, sitting in her car reading a book. She always carries a book. She's not she limits herself to her screen time, and she only Instagrams on certain days. And I admire that. And when I'm on my own, I try to be early. And I won't say I'm always early, because there are lots of times that I'm late. And when it comes to stuff that doesn't have a set time, like picking the kids up from school, I got to where I was that mom that was one of the last ones through Carline, because you can sit there for an hour, so your kid doesn't have to wait, or you can roll through late when the kid's one of the last 10 and pick them up, and you don't have to stop.
That's true.
When I was a consultant making money, I was like, my time, no offense, y'all, my time is more valuable than yours. You can sit there and read a book. Mommy's going to make a few $100 more. We're good.
So wormholes. And I don't know what, just here lately, I just feel like I am just in them and I can't get out. And it's not, like I said, that today was the dishes. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
And I
maybe
was,
little boundaries.
mm-hmm.
Like maybe there are times that you don't have like not listening or watching or doing anything that involves technology.
I do. I really think that's what I need to do. I definitely need to have a shut it off, shut it down. And here's the thing too is like creating content. Like this is something I love doing. Like this has been fun and keep, managing our, you know, putting things on Normal Vice podcast and then on the Real OC Diva and then, on Facebook, my personal stuff. I have been having fun like creating new fun things, and that definitely is something I need to like, because there's apps and you've showed me apps where it's like one stop shop and I can put this and schedule things. And I don't really utilize those to my advantage, or they're there to do these things, and I really should do that better. um but I also am like, something pops in my head and I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me, instead of taking a note or jotting down something to remember later, I just sit and do it, and then again, before I know it, an hour and a half has gone by.
Which I think,
and
yeah,
I've just sat there doing one thing.
but I think that if you have an hour and a half, that's fine. But if you're telling me that you didn't have an hour and a half and you spent it doing that, then you come away saying things like I should. Like whenever someone says like that should for me is a red flag, right? Should what should tells me is that's not really me. Like I want it, like that's aspirational, right? Like I wish I was wired that way. I should, I don't know, like I should dust my baseboards. Like I would love for you to come over and be like, oh, look how clean our house is. It's not. It's dirty. It's like don't wipe your hand across anything. It's filthy. Like I should dust. I'm not gonna. I could should myself all week long, but what works for me is to set like one goal at a time. Um, and that's, like we were talking about some, things that are going on personally with you that are weighing on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of when I overeat, when I drink too much, and I'm not saying like when I get drunk, but I'm saying like when I get to the point, and this is usually in the spring, it'll get to this point, and then like Lent will come and I'll give up alcohol because it's like every day. I don't know if I need a drink or I want to drink, but I'll have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever it is every day. I have a drink, which for me is excessive. And so, but I do those things because I'm having uncomfortable feelings, or I'll read too much, like this fiction book. Like maybe, like I would love to lay on my bed and read, or sit in my rocking chair and read, but I've got to finish this work today. I've got to get to a friend's house to pick something up for tomorrow. Um, I think it's the why you do things. It's, are
Mm-hmm.
you numbing something that we aren't comfortable feeling, or we're worried about something and we can't fix it, so we don't want to face it or work through it, or like there's so many different reasons for all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I mean, I definitely.
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. No, definitely, because I mean, one of the questions I said was escapes, and definitely feeling, like today's earlier was definitely the dishes. I just didn't want to deal with that, but definitely feeling some escapism, like some of the things that are weighing on me that you said that I've mentioned to you. Um, I guess definitely some of the wormholes, or eating up the time, is so I'm not thinking about those things.
Mhm.
And like an hour and a half goes by where I have things that need to be done, that I should get done, so that tomorrow, my quote is, today's lazy's tomorrow's crazy. Well, sitting there, you
Oh,
know
my
going
Diva shirt.
what?
I want that on an OC Diva shirt.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, today's lazy is tomorrow's crazy. So already I'm feeling that pressure, even like, okay, if I don't get out of this hole, rabbit hole, black hole, the whole hole, then this stuff doesn't get done. So then Matt's, you know, stuff is still in the wash. You know, once it's dried, he'll help fold it, but I didn't get that in the dryer. He's doing homework, you know, like, so we're getting behind. So then tomorrow's just going to be nuts. And then I'm feeling bad because, well, I was too busy looking at commencement speeches on YouTube or, you know.
Mm-hmm. So what if you did like a work sprint? Like what if you gave yourself, and I think, you know, this is one of the things too, like with productivity or productivity, I don't know, that goes back to our whole, like, I cannot say a word now without thinking about you, because I mispronounced so many things. I mispronounced Dr. Fauci's name earlier this week, and James, I was talking and they were like, they weren't even reacting, and I was like, did y'all hear what I just said? And they said, I don't know who you're talking about. And I was like, duh, the COVID guy. And they were like, Fauci? I was like, that's not what I said, is it? You're like, no. So anyway, so productivity, like we used to call in my house when I was in education for almost 20 years. And when I was still in the classroom, I would get the Sunday blues. Like I'd wake up Sunday kind of just pissy. Like I would go to church and be a little bit grumpy, and like I couldn't really relax and be in the moment. And then we'd come home, you know, and we want to take a nap and stuff. But as the day got later and later, like now, like at 4 o'clock or 4:30 or whatever time it is, like I was full on, like, probably you don't be in the room with me, because I was thinking about all of the things. Like I was ahead of myself. I was already in tomorrow, and in tomorrow I didn't have this done for my classroom, or I didn't have my shirt ironed, or I didn't finish the laundry, or I wanted to clean out the garage over the weekend. You know, like all of the things that I didn't do start like pressing in on me, or they used to. They don't anymore, mostly. And so like one of the ways you can kind of combat that is set a timer for, like, if it's laundry, set a timer for 15 minutes and do as much as you can in 15 minutes. And if you know you only have 15 minutes, you're going to get that crap done. Otherwise, like, I don't know about you, but I'll be like, I'll just piddle. I'll just fold this. I'll go put this one in the bathroom. And then I'll walk back all the way across our house. You know, it's like 4 steps. But I'll walk all the way back to the laundry room. And then I'll be like, oh, I have to go do this in the bathroom. And, you know, the other 4 steps. And then, but if I would just stand there and get it done, I'd get it done. You know? So I could talk about that stuff all day long. Maybe we need to have a time management talk.
Maybe.
But unplug, seriously, unplug, get your crap done.
I need to unplug and get my crap done. That is how I'm going to get out of the wormhole. Thank you.
That's how you get out of today's wormhole.
That's how I get out of today's wormhole.
Or rabbit hole.
Or rabbit hole.
Whatever you call it. But yeah, that's your free tip for today. But just figure out. And I think part of me, like, I think, you know, our 2 people who listen, thanks Martha, you know, like right now y'all are listening, and I bet they have a million ideas. I bet a million things came to mind because they're like, oh, that's something that I struggle with, this is what I do. Or, you know, like, you know people have ideas. So here's what I want.
Okay.
Tell us, normal biasing minds want to know, what do you really have to get done so tomorrow's not crazy? Like, really, what do you have to do today to be successful tomorrow?
What I have to do is finish the laundry, fold the things and put them away, because there are clothes and things we need for the week. I need to do that. I need to kind of assess the lunches and snackage for the week for me, because I take my lunch, and the boys are, you know, the AB schedule, so they're here sometimes and then they're at school. They eat at school, but so make sure they have food. And I mean, really, that's it. Get some clean sheets on my bed.
Okay, so we want to know, like, Wednesday, we want you to put in the comments of this post. We want you to tell us how you did.
Okay.
If you fail miserably and you sleep on a mattress pad tonight, and your kid goes to sleep in goes to school in wet clothes tomorrow, I mean, just tell us that too. We're cool. I'm
okay to tell you that. Yes.
Okay, and so here's mine. Like
tell me yours.
So I'm a little bit easier on myself, I think, than you are. So my goal last week was to get my hair cut.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Like that was my self-care goal for the first week of school, was to put myself in Mary's chair and get my hair cut. And I did. And it was great. I
Yay.
straight hair for 2 days. It was, it was great. So my things were to get my hair cut, take care of the dog's hair. We have two long haired dogs and they just got so matted. God love them. We haven't taken care of that enough this summer. So they just both needed to, their tails and stuff needed to be cut. So my goal was to take care of my hair, take care of the dog's hair, and then this week to wash slip covers, because I haven't washed slip covers, I think, since the beginning of this whole pandemic thing. Because like there's always a child on the white couches. So anyway, they are past the point of respectability. So my goal is to wash slip covers this week before you come this weekend.
Yay.
I think you care if we have dirty couches, but I care. So anyway, so that's big goals. Like those are big little goals, and they're achievable. And it doesn't mean that I don't do other things too, but like that's what works for me, is to kind of to put things in order. Like once I do this, then I'll do this. But I didn't try to do all of those on the same day or the same weekend. So
Okay.
but everybody's got different systems and like with their food. And I have so many friends that do grocery delivery or pickup and all of those things. I'm not there yet, just because it's something that I enjoy going to the store and talking to everybody.
I do too. And I'm glad that I feel safer, I guess, and I hope that's not being naive. But and I don't know if it's in the sense of there's now groceries and things to feel calmer, but I definitely do. I like seeing the faces and the people, and I feel productive. I like knowing, okay, if they don't have what I need, that what the options are, seeing them physically. So I do enjoy that too. I'm not there. I've tried that. And I guess at the beginning of COVID, I did a few times do the pickup thing, but so yeah, I guess I am a little hard on myself. I guess for me mostly is when I see that block of time that, I was, on the screen or whatever. If it's something, I guess for like, if I were reading a book, maybe I wouldn't feel as badly, but it's not all necessarily like creating like a quote or something to post later or use. Like sometimes it's just like meaningless scrolling or reading, listening or watching a video. And so I guess I put that guilt on myself a little bit, but anyway.
I think one way to look at it too, that I don't think that people stop and think about, but the things that make us awesome, like too much of those things also can hurt us. And for you, one of the things that makes you awesome for this podcast is the fact that you are the one that does the research on the trends. You're the one that's like, hey, this is what a podcast needs. I just show up. I do some nerdy stuff on the back end, but that thing that's causing you pain right now also is a beneficial thing when you keep it in check, or maybe when so just like the thing, like our need for both of us, our need for order is awesome, right? It means that you have what you need, your kids have the supplies they need, all of those things. There's not that frantic all the time at our house, where are my shoes? Well, your shoes are where shoes go. But the flip side of that for me, I don't think as much for you, is the controlling part of me that like flips a lid when I walk into the med room. And like, the boys built this whole thing where the shoes go that live in the med room. And now instead of piling shoes in the middle of the floor, one family member always walks in, takes their shoes off and sets them outside the box where the shoes go now. I'm like, so, it's great. Like that whole like organizing thing is great. But then that, like when it slips into that control and that like, oh, you've just really like I forget what we were talking about yesterday. Noble hadn't done something that I had told him like 14 times to do. And I was like, you do not make me have an aneurysm in front of our guests. I was like, really? Like you're gonna blow a gasket because he hasn't picked it up yet. Like, yeah, you know what? Honestly, yeah, probably I would. Like
I can agree with that. I
can lose my stuff. Leave it out again. Come on.
Right. Well, and I say I agree with that because I've been in that space too, where I'm just like, yep, it's about to go. It's about to blow. Well, I appreciate you talking with me about this. And, yes, Martha and Stephanie, when we get to work this week and you've heard this, what are some of your rabbit hole, wormhole things? Because I would like to think that I'm not the only one, but
you're not.
And I'm just curious.
The title of this episode. Aren't you glad I'm not the only one?
Aren't you glad I am not the only one? Yes. But I'm curious, what are some of the things that you find yourself, in the hole doing, and what and I don't know if that's the right thing to say, is what should you be doing if you're doing that? Or what could I be doing? That's the thing, is what I could be doing so many more things and feeling better about myself. But it's all good.
So if you were a coaching client, I would say celebrate your small wins.
Yes.
You get yourself in there and get Matt's stuff out of the dryer. Get yourself a gold star.
Boop. Boop. Yay, I did it. And that is, yes. Thinking about all the things I'm not doing right when I need to think about all the things that I have done.
Well, I have a quote for you about that. It was in my planner this week.
Okay, yay. I love quotes.
See, and like all the planners now have quotes in them every
day. Quotes just speak to me.
Okay. What we see depends mainly on what we look for. I don't know who John Levick is, but we always say that, like, we see what we seek and we see what we're looking for. But he said, what we see depends mainly on what we look for. John Levick.
Ooh, I love that.
Which I think, so I'm sitting here, I'm thinking it's tomorrow's the last day of August, and we haven't.
Tomorrow's the last day of August. Can you even believe it?
I can't. So it's my turn to do the photo day words for September, and I don't have a guiding word yet, but I'm like, it needs to be positive again. Like, it needs to be something. So we're looking throughout our day for that good thing, right? Instead of that thing where we fall short, because we spend so much time like thinking
we do
that we fall short, but really, yeah, we do. We fall short, we get back up, we fall short, we get back up. But also, the whole practice of gratitude, starting your day and ending your day with it. When you think about things that you can be grateful for, then you're grateful. I mean, it's kind of like duh, right? When I count my blessings, I realize I'm blessed. Oh.
Imagine that.
It's a novel one. So yeah, so our little white rabbit, I'm late for a very important date, and the rabbit hole. So Brenda did reveal when we were talking about wormhole, when she was explaining to me, asking me questions about wormholes, and I was like, what? What's a
rabbit hole? I mean, what's a wormhole?
Also did tell me that you've never read or watched Alice in Wonderland. Is that right?
This is correct. I've never read it, and I have seen bits and pieces of the Disney classic animated movie of it. But I've not watched all of it. That is correct. And nor have I watched the Johnny Depp version. I think Johnny Depp's in the version where he's the Mad Hatter. I've not watched that either. So yes, this is correct.
So yeah.
I have things to do. I probably need to watch that. Sorry, Stephanie at work, because she is an avid Disney person, and I've probably crushed her heart right now.
No, you know what you've done? You told her what y'all can do the next time y'all hang out. You can watch Alice in Wonderland, and she
can watch.
She loves it.
Alice in Wonderland, yes.
Did you catch what you just did? I'm pointing my pen at you. I don't know why I'm such a pointer today. You just did?
What?
You haven't watched a movie, so you're all like, oh, I should watch that. I should put it on my to-do list. So, right now on your mental to-do list, we're not going to be an explicit podcast, but cross that bleep out. That is not on your to-do list. That's why, people are forever like, oh, you should read this. You should watch this. You should listen to this. And I'm like, I used to keep lists of books I should read and shows I should watch. And people are like, oh, you don't watch this? No, I didn't watch Tiger King. I haven't seen a single episode of Yellowstone. And I am okay with my life choices. For real.
Okay. All right, you guys. So thanks for discussing wormholes, rabbit holes. No?
Wait, we gotta wrap up the other one first. Like you just like speaking of wormholes, you just keep skipping around in time and space. Okay, so this is where you say, have a great week. We'll see you Friday.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening to Normal Bias Podcast. Have a great week. Christy, it was great talking to you.
For 2 hours. We'll see y'all Friday.
We'll see you Friday.
All right. Go back to the wormholes. Oh wait, here. No, wait here. So this is so if one of my kids were actually watching this, which they're not one of y'all. This is continuity error that this block of color is on our bed and my closet's open. But you're gonna have to tune in to next Wednesday's episode to find out why. Because what had happened was we went to wrap up this episode and Brenda dropped a bomb, y'all. Like, that's all I'm gonna, you know what? Like, I could just say it and then we'll just go down that rabbit hole again.
Right. So you're going to have to wait.
Yes, you have to
watch.
And find out what that's about. And also, some of you, sadly, depending upon your beliefs, you may not be able to be friends with Brenda after this. I'm going to power through. Brenda, I support you in your life choices. You've chosen an alternative path.
I have. And
I'm proud of you for seeing you. Solid.
Thanks, friend. Thank you, because even though the face that you made, the judgment that you cast on me when I said what I said, yes, you still love.
When I said what I said, like that's got to be the title. When I said what I said.
So thanks for still loving me through it.
I do. All right, Ben. So what are you glad for this week?
I am glad that I have spoken to you about my little issue with the wormhole, rabbit hole sitch, and that you have given me some new tools to try and some goals. And I am truly going to take those this week. And like the timing thing, I'm going to get on Friday, I'm going to be like, Christy, I was on time every day. So I'm glad. Thank you for talking me through this and giving me some tools and some goals that I am excited about. And I'm going to see what happens.
And Wednesday night, I want you to come back on the comments and be like, you guys, I've been on time to work every day this week so far. That's 3 days. That'll be huge.
That will be huge.
3 places in a row. That'd be huge. That's awesome.
So yes, I am glad to have those things.
My orange glad is kind of like taking that and flipping it. I am glad that school is back in session. I'm glad. And I have one kid at home, one kid on campus, and both of them, they're 4 days in. Out here, we weren't affected by the hurricane like y'all were, so we didn't have to close or anything. And I don't want to say we weren't affected by the hurricane, but we weren't in danger. We weren't, so anyway, so we are in a routine. We're getting in a routine. I thrive on routine. I was telling a friend on a text earlier, it has surprised me how we've gotten into routine already with, 6:15, 6:17 football practice in the morning and getting to the gym for us and getting all the things. I just feel like our family has really pulled together, and I think we just really all were craving this routine, craving a little bit of normal, because it's been kind of a long haul since Noble's birthday his birthday was that Sunday the 8th, and Tuesday was the last day that he and I really got out. We went to the Galleria before everything shut down, and then Wednesday the travel bit. So like I know everybody has been craving normal, but this is like if routine was a love language, Dr. Charles, like that would be me. Not them, but me. So yeah. I am a happy mommy girl.
Well, I love it. I'm glad that you have that back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and y'all too. Good. So let's see how it goes this week. This week will be your first full week of everything going the way it's supposed to go. Not
everything going back the way it's supposed to be. Yes. So we'll see. But thank you guys for listening, and also let us know what, like, again, tell me what your wormhole rabbit holes are, and maybe something, yeah, and maybe something Christy has shared will help you
They have
work your way out.
I bet there's someone that'll be like, oh, hey, I had that issue and this is what I did.
Yes, let's help each other. Let me know what you do. So okay. Well, it's been so fun.
All right. I've got so many ideas. Like I'm going to, not today, probably tomorrow. This will be my alone time, is sitting down and working on our September word of the day.
Okay.
And so I have written down, like, I've got my Post-its all over my desk covered in scribbles. So I try not to make notes during and point with my pen during our podcast, but I was totally guilty of both today.
Oh my gosh, it's fine. I love it. It's you.
All right. Well, I love you big, and I get to
love you.
a couple of days. Yay!
Okay, yay!
All right. Well, you guys have a great week. We'll see you. We'll be back Friday. We don't know with whom, but we'll be here.
Can't wait.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Have a good week. Hey, y'all. Are you still watching? Are you still listening? Oh, hey, Mom.
We're so glad that you're still with us. If you want to connect online, we're at www.normalbiaspodcast.com, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And our very favorite, if we made you a mixtape, we'd put all those songs on our Spotify playlist for you.
All the things.